What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Lil Solo Prime, and today I'm finally showing you guys my Infernoble list that's going to be featuring the Flame Swordsman support. I've been having a ton of fun playing this deck with my friends and even at locals. As of right now, I've taken this deck list to about maybe 4 different locals. I came in first place at one and came in top 4 in the other 3 events. So needless to say, I've been having a great time playing this deck, and I cannot wait to show you guys. If you guys have not seen the combo video that's associated with this deck list, which is my last videos, please go take a look at it on my channel. I'll link it at the end of this video, as well as put a info card at the top of this video. That way you guys can go see it. But without further ado, guys, I'm super excited to show you what I got here. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, fellas. In this deck list, I decided to do something a little bit different. I decided to departmentalize my deck list here. So what you're looking at here is going to be your main engine of the deck. Then we're going to move over to the support that builds upon this main engine. And then we're going to move over to some non-engine. And we're going to discuss those as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We have 1 Gearfried, 1 Ogier, 1 Malgus, 1 Turpin, 1 Oliver, 1 Renard, 1 Cavalier, and 1 Ricardetto. This has been pretty much standard running the one-ofs of the Infernoble Knights for the last 6, maybe 8 months. And it's worked out and transitioned very well into this deck list here. The only one card that a lot of people might not be familiar with is going to be Cavalier here. If you did not catch my last video where I was able to utilize this card here in combination with the Flame Swordsman support to help make a really nice OTK push inboard for this deck, please go over there and check it out. I'll have it linked somewhere at the top, but you don't want to miss that combo right there. But the other reason I play this is because it's also a target for your original Sinful spools, as well as Ricardetto. Being a level 1 tuner, that actually comes up sometimes. And the effect of allowing you to actually equip an equip card directly to a monster that you control is actually paramount. But this card is also needed in the combo line where you go for the Ogier plus Renard combo, where you actually need a way to target or trigger your Angelica to help fully flesh out that combo. All right, let's move on to the Flame Swordsman support here. We played 3 Fighting Flame Swordsman. This card is amazing. This is now our main normal summon of the deck, and I could not ask for a better card to do exactly what this card does. What this engine allows us to do is to have a better going second into an established board and threaten a OTK with just this one monster alone. So if we cannot get our engine started the normal way, where we want to go into Angelica, we want to go for Emperor Charles the Great and things like that, we can also just rely on the aspect of the Fighting Flame Swordsman support to help try to push for an OTK. So if we can't get them the way we want to, then we're going to get them another way. That's the way I like to look at it. So we played 3 Fighting Flame Swordsmen. We played 1 Salamander the Flying Dragon. This card allows you to add either the Salamander with Chain or the Salamander Fusion to your hand once you have sent this card to the graveyard. All right, moving over to the Fighting Flame Sword and the Flame Swords realm. These 2 cards can be searched off the effect of your Fighting Flame Swordsman when you normal or special summon this card. I know a lot of people like to play Fighting Flame Sword at 3. This is an amazing card, don't get me wrong. But in a build like what I just constructed, this card is very niche. It does help out. I will not disagree with that. And I love all 3 of their effects. But I think this card is better served in a pure variant of Flame Swordsman. So I did not see the need to actually play more than 1. I only played the 1 because if I opened the Flame Swords realm, I wanted my Flame Swords to have another card to search for. That's the only reason I'm actually playing this card. Does it help? Yes, it does. Is it something I want to see every game? No, it is not. And it'll become more apparent once we get more into the supporting cards of this deck list. Moving on to the spells, we have 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Heritage of the Chalice. Heritage of the Chalice has been known to be played at 2s and 3s in a Infernoble deck. I had a hard time finding space for at least 2 more copies of this card. And I ultimately decided to just play 1, and I have not truly missed it. Having a lot of cards that you can only play 1 of in that particular turn, cards like Reinforcement of the Army and Heritage of the Chalice can really restrict you and really make your your random draw is really, really bad. Or, you know, if you're opening hand, you don't want to open multiples of this card here. So I decided to just play one, and honestly, I haven't missed it. Now, the card I could not skip on not playing 3 of is the Noble Arms Museum. I decided to play 3 copies of that, 1 copy of Almace, and 2 copies of the Rendell. I wanted to make sure I had enough equipped cards here in this deck to actually support the Noble Arms Museum, and this was a perfect number. There might have been one other instance where I might have needed extra equip, but I also chalked that up to a player error on my behalf, guys. Had I been playing more consciously, I wouldn't have needed that extra equip that I thought I needed at the time. But once the game ended it, I found out that, hey, I did not play optimal enough to the point where I needed another equip card. I really didn't need it had I played optimal. So that does it for this particular engine, but there's one thing I do want to share with you guys. When you're playing this deck list and you know you're going first, let's just say you get game 1, you lose game 2, and you're rolling into game 3. I know that a lot of other Infernoble players swear to God on the Angelica's Ring, which I do too. I actually side this card. I side Angelica's Ring, and I also side 1 copy of Rolling. So when I know I'm going second, these are the cards I actually side in, and these are the cards I actually side out when I'm going second. So you side out your Cavalier for Rolling, and you side out your Salamander Fusion for Angelica's Ring, because you don't need the Salamander Fusion if you're going first. You need the negation from Angelica's Ring over the Salamander Fusion. And you also need to have a way to get to your Angelica Ring mid-combo, or however you need to do it, where you drop Rolling here off the effect of Ogier, or you drop it off the effect of Angelica. You want to make sure you have access to this guy in the graveyard at the end phase to resolve his effect to actually get you a copy of Angelica's Ring to your hand. So this is what it looks like when I'm actually going second. So that does it for this particular side of the engine. Let's move over to our supporting cast for this particular deck list. All right, fellas, here we are with the support engine of this deck list, and it really needs no introduction. It's really no groundbreaking information to be given right here. We're playing 2 of the best engines in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. We played the Diabell Star package, and we also had the Kashtira package. So we played 1 Diabell Star, the Black Witch, the 3 wanted posters, and the original Sinful Spoils, which I also call OSS. Moving over to the Cash package, we played the 1 Rise Heart, the 3 Fenrirs. Fenrir is an amazing, amazing card. Being able to special summon Fenrir, search for Rise Heart and normal summon Rise Heart, and if you guys can find your way to a Renard, that's full Infernoble combo. Moving over to the Diabell Star package, it's also a full combo if you find your way to a Fighting Flame Swordsman, as well as any copy of Wanted or the Diabell Star the Black Witch, that's full Infernoble combo as well. Your main target to special summon off your original Sinful Spoils is going to be a copy of Ricardetto. And when Ricardetto is special summoned to the field, it allows you to special summon a level 4 lore Fire Warrior from your graveyard, which hopefully Fighting Flame Swords in the graveyard, him or any other non-4-star tuner Infernoble monsters in the grave, and you're actually able to have full Infernoble combo. But there are some instances, maybe once or twice in my own testing, where I actually had to special summon a copy of Cavalier. But I also had the level 4 monster on the field to actually produce a board past that. But 9 times out of 10, you're primarily going to be special summoning out your Ricardetto. So this does it for the support part of this deck list. Let's move over to some non-engine. All right, so here is the non-engine I decided to play. We played 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Drolling Lockbirds, side the third, 1 Nibiru in the main, copies 2 and 3 I side, 3 Imperns, 1 Call by the Grave, and 2 Cross-Out Designators. I have a lot of experience with this particular ratio of non-engine, because this is the same ratio of non-engine that I played in my Fire King Snake Eye deck, and I've been having great success. So I decided to port it over into my Infernoble Flame Swordsman deck. As you guys may know, Infernobles can play through a good amount of hand traps, but there's certain combination of cards in our hands that allows us not to. So let's just say we get hit with an Ash Blossom earlier in our combo, and our opponent is also holding Drolling Lockbird. If I can play through that Ash Blossom and potentially grow to make a better board, I'll hold on to the Crossout Designator just for the anticipation of the Drolling Light Bar or the Nibiru later on in the turn, as well as the Impermanence. So, and that has been serving me very, very well. There are certain hands that we cannot play through Droll. There are certain hands that we cannot play through Nib, and Crossout Designator / Call by the Grave is actually here to help mitigate a lot of those issues. So I hope that explains it a lot when it comes to why I decided to play the Call Bys and the Crossout Designators for this particular format, as these cards are the most commonly used hand traps in this format and also going into next format. So that does it for the non-engine. Let's move over to the extra deck. All right, so here we are with the extra deck I decided to play, and we are playing one Ultimate Flame Swordsman. I see a world where we actually can play 2 of this card, but that's only if I decide to play a copy of Flame Swords Dance, which is a great card when I was using and testing. But you got to make sure you have the extra deck space to facilitate this card, which is probably 9 times out of 10 is going to have to require at least 2 Ultimate Flame Swordsmen in your extra deck. But for right now, we're not playing this card, but it's really, really good. So we're only playing 1 Ultimate Flame Swordsman, 1 regular Flame Swordsman, 1 Fighting Flame Dragon, which is amazing equipped to take a Flame Swordsman monster. We play 2 Emperor Charles the Great, 1 Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles, 1 Captain Roland, 1 Angelica, 1 Baron DeFleur, 1 Typhon, 1 Appaloosa, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 IP Masquerena for combo lines where we need to clear up our board and make sure we have a significant amount of follow-up on our opponent's turn. This card is actually able to help us do so before we get Warrior Locked. As well as Cross Sheep is here to do the same thing, but it also facilitates a combo line where we're actually able to use this effect to special summon a level 4 lower from the graveyard to help move into Appaloosa before we start our synchro plays with Angelica. So there's Cross Sheep. We also play the 1 Link Spider. Link Spider is here for when we get Nibiru before we actually utilize our copy of original Sinful Spoils. So the way that kind of plays out is we do our normal combos, however we're doing it, and we still haven't used our OSS. So we get Nibiru, we take the Nibiru token, turn it into a Link Spider, then we're able to send the Link Spider to the graveyard for the effect of OSS, and then we're able to special summon our copy of Ricardetto. Hopefully there's a level 4 Fire Warrior in the graveyard, so we then can continue on to combo into Angelica. But this does it for the extra deck for this deck list. I really appreciate you guys coming back and rocking with me, supporting the video and things like that. Like I said earlier in the video, if you guys have not had a chance to check out the combo video that's associated with this deck list, I'll link it at the end of this video. Do not worry. But I really do appreciate you guys supporting everything I do. I really do show a lot of gratitude by producing these videos and taking the time out to explain my thought process to you guys. So this has been your boy Lord Solar Prime, and I'm out, guys. Peace.